I am Dr. Omar Farooq, Assistant Professor of Education, University of Education, with the topic Classification of Assessment. Dear students, assessment procedures can be classified in four different ways. For example, they can be classified on the basis of their use in classroom instruction and on the basis of interpretation of their results. They can also be classified on the basis of the nature of assessment and format of assessment. Learning outcomes. After the instruction, the students will be able to understand the purpose and use of assessment before, during, and after classroom instruction, comprehend the methods of interpreting results, know the assessment procedures and their characteristics on the basis of format, develop understanding of assessment procedures that can be categorized on the basis of nature of assessment. First of all, I would like to discuss the classification of assessment on the basis of their functional role or use in classroom instruction. When we look at assessment of student performance in this context, we come across the classification system in which assessment procedures are used in a sequence like placement assessment, formative assessment, diagnostic assessment, and summative assessment. This classification of assessment procedures was identified by Erazian and Maddus in 1972. It should be noted that in this classification, specially designed instruments are used for each type of assessment. However, sometimes a single instrument can be used for more than one purposes. Placement assessment comes first in the sequence of this classification. In placement assessment, the major concern is students' entry performance. Let me rephrase it. Student performance at the beginning of instruction is the major concern of placement assessment. इसीलिए प्लेसमेंट असेसमेंट में ये जानने की कोशिश की जाती है कि जो इंस्ट्रक्शन हमने प्लान की है उसके लिए जो नॉलेज और स्किल चाहिए क्या वो स्टूडेंट्स के पास है या नहीं. फॉर एग्जांपल, we have planned instruction for beginning algebra students, then before instruction we will see whether these students have sufficient command on essential maths concepts or not. इसके अलावा इंस्ट्रक्शन से पहले यह जानना भी जरूरी है कि जो ऑब्जेक्टिव्स हमने आइडेंटिफाई किए हैं उनके बारे में स्टूडेंट्स के पास नॉलेज और स्किल किस हद तक ऑलरेडी मौजूद है. At the beginning of instruction, having information like this is very important because on the basis of this information, teachers can skip certain units or can place students in more advanced course. And for deciding mode of instruction, placement assessment helps us too. Placement assessment helps us in assessing students' interest, work habits, and personality characteristics. What mode of instruction would be better for this group of students having such type of interest, work habits or personality characteristics? Whether group instruction or independent study would be better. This may be decided on the basis of placement assessment. Now look at the techniques we can use for placement assessment. We can use variety of techniques for placement assessment. For example, records of past achievement, pre-test, self-report inventories, and observational techniques. The second type of assessment in this sequence is formative assessment. During instruction, we monitor learning progress of our students through formative assessment. It provides continuous feedback to both students and teachers regarding the successes and failure in learning. Through this feedback, students get reinforced when they are successful in learning and can identify learning errors in misconceptions too. और वो फीडबैक जो टीचर्स को मिलता है that provides information for the modification of their instruction. So we can say that formative assessment is like a first aid treatment. Let me explain it in Urdu as well. Formative assessment during instruction की जाती है और ये लर्निंग को मॉनिटर करने और लर्निंग को इम्प्रूव करने के लिए होती है। इसके नतीजे में कोई ग्रेड्स असाइन नहीं किए जाते। इसका मकसद लर्निंग एरर्स को आइडेंटिफाई करना और मिसकंसेप्शंस को जानना है ताकि उन्हें दूर किया जा सके। साथ ही साथ टीचर्स को ये फीडबैक भी देना है कि ऑब्जेक्टिव्स को अचीव करने के लिए उसकी मेथोडोलॉजी किस हद तक इफेक्टिव जा रही है, ताकि अगर उसकी टीचिंग इतनी इफेक्टिव नहीं जा रही तो वो टीचिंग टेक्निक में तब्दीली लाकर ऑब्जेक्टिव्स को इफेक्टिवली अचीव कर सके। सो वी कैन से दैट इट इज असेसमेंट फॉर लर्निंग। टीचर मेड टेस्ट and other assessment procedures are used for formative assessment, and besides this, observational techniques can also be used for monitoring learning progress and identifying learning errors. Dear students, diagnostic assessment is the third type in this classification. It also takes place during instruction and it is highly specialized procedure and is concerned with persistent learning difficulties. For example, if a student continues to fail in reading or maths despite the use of prescribed alternative method of instruction, then more detailed diagnosis is required. For that purpose, diagnostic assessment is employed. जब कोई स्टूडेंट रीडिंग या मैथमेटिक्स या किसी और सब्जेक्ट में मुतबादिल मेथड ऑफ इंस्ट्रक्शन को एम्प्लॉय करने के बावजूद मुसलसल फेल होता है, तो फिर ये सूरत हाल इस बात की निशानदेही करती है कि डिटेल्ड तशखीस की ज़रूरत है। मेडिकल एनालॉजी को यूज़ करते हुए हम ये कह सकते हैं कि फॉर्मेटिव असेसमेंट सिंपल लर्निंग प्रॉब्लम्स के लिए फर्स्ट एड ट्रीटमेंट मुहैया करती है, जबकि डायग्नोस्टिक असेसमेंट उन लर्निंग प्रॉब्लम्स की अंडरलाइंग कॉजेज को जानने की कोशिश करती है जो कि फॉर्मेटिव असेसमेंट की फर्स्ट एड ट्रीटमेंट को रिस्पॉन्ड नहीं करते। सो वी कैन से दैट डायग्नोस्टिक असेसमेंट इज मच मोर comprehensive and detailed process, and the aim of diagnostic assessment is to determine the underlying causes of persistent learning problems and to formulate a plan for remedial action. In diagnostic assessment, we use specially prepared diagnostic tests as well as various observational techniques. And for serious learning disabilities, we must consult with some specialists of the field like educationists, psychologists or medical specialists, and should develop an individualized education plan for students. The last in the sequence of these types of assessment comes the summative assessment. It is designed at the end of course or unit of instruction to determine the extent to which the instructional objectives have been achieved. As you know that instructional process starts with the identification of learning objectives, and these instructional objectives form the basis of instructional process. Keep in mind that these instructional objectives also form the basis of assessment too. As in summative assessment, we determine the extent of achievement of those objectives for which the instructional process was started. Summative assessment is used for assigning course grades and for certifying students' mastery of intended learning outcomes, and also for determining appropriateness of objectives and effectiveness of teaching. For selecting techniques for summative assessment, we have to consider the instructional objectives. Typically, we use teacher-made achievement test, ratings on various types of performance and assessment of products, and beside this, portfolios of students' work are also used for the purpose. Dear students, let's have a look on important points discussed so far. When we talk about classification of assessment on the basis of instruction, we come to know that placement assessment is the first type which occurs before instruction, and it focuses on students' entry performance. It helps us knowing whether the students possess knowledge and skills needed to begin new instruction or not. And the second type is formative assessment. Formative assessment occurs during instruction and it monitors learning progress of students. Its main purpose is to give feedback to both students and teachers. It identifies learning errors and misconceptions, and it's just like a first aid treatment. The third type is diagnostic assessment, which determines the underlying causes of those learning problems that do not respond to first aid treatment or formative assessment. The final type in the sequence is summative assessment. At the end of instruction, summative assessment determines the extent to which learning objectives have been achieved. Dear students, I hope till now you will be able to answer the question like, first, what are the types of assessment on the basis of their role in instruction? Second, the questions on which placement assessment focuses on. Third, differentiate between formative and diagnostic assessment. And finally, what purposes summative assessment serves. So, take 10 minutes and answer these questions. Now we head towards the other classification of assessment, which is on the basis of interpretation of assessment results. You must keep in mind that there are two basic ways by which students' performance can be interpreted, and those are norm referenced and criterion reference assessment. Through norm or criterion reference assessment, we make sense of collected raw data. For example, if a student gets 65% marks in a test, the mark of 65% tells very little about students' performance, as it doesn't show that whether the student performance was very good, good or poor. If the class mean on the test was 85%, then the student's performance is below average. But if the group mean 45% on the test, then student's performance is outstanding. So we must have to interpret the results to make sense of them. For translating raw data into meaningful information, teachers use norm referenced or criterion reference procedures. Let's try to understand norm referenced assessment first. In norm referenced assessment, a student performance is compared with other students from a comparable group. It means this type of interpretation tells us about students' performance on the basis of the relative position a student holds in a group. For example, Ali typed better than 90% of the class members. It is important to remember that in norm reference assessment, we compare students' performance with the performance of other students of the same category. For example, we compare a 7th grade student's performance on math test with the score of other 7th grade students on the same test. So we can say that norm reference assessment indicate the relative standing of a student in a norm group by noting the percentage of students who obtained the same or lower scores. The other method of interpretation is criterion reference assessment. In criterion reference assessment, an individual's performance is compared with a predetermined standard or criteria of performance. We can say that this type of interpretation describes the specific performance that was demonstrated by a student. For example, Hassan typed 40 words per minute without error. Criterion reference assessment in schools compares a set of predetermined criteria which are necessary to complete a task. For example, in home economics, a student's performance may be compared with a set of criteria or tasks for producing a sponge. For interpreting students' performance, it is assessed against the predetermined criteria for effective sponge making. In this way, the student competes against a set of criteria, not against other students. Dear students, norm referenced और क्राइटेरियन रेफरेंस सिर्फ रिजल्ट्स को इंटरप्रेट करने के मेथड्स हैं, ताहम इंटरप्रिटेशन की ये टाइप्स ज़्यादा मुफीद और मीनिंगफुल हो सकती हैं जब टेस्ट और दूसरे असेसमेंट के प्रोसीजर्स भी इंटरप्रिटेशन की मखसूस टाइप के लिए डिज़ाइन किए जाएं। एक और बात की वजाहत करता चलूं कि असेसमेंट की इन दो टाइप्स को एक कंटिन्यूम के दो एंड्स के तौर पे देखना ज्यादा बेहतर है बजाय इसके कि इनको एक क्लियर कट डायकोटमी के तौर पे देखा जाए। एक ऐसा कंटिन्यूम जिसमें क्राइटेरियन रेफरेंस टेस्ट डिस्क्रिप्शन ऑफ परफॉर्मेंस को एम्फसाइज करता है, जबकि नॉर्म रेफरेंस टेस्ट डिस्क्रिमिनेशन अमंग इंडिविजुअल्स को। The next type of assessment procedures which we are to discuss is maximum performance versus typical performance. These are the types which are based on the nature of the measurement. Dear students, the assessment procedures used to determine a person's developed abilities or achievements are placed in the first category. Assessment procedures of this type are concerned with how well individual perform. The results of assessment indicate what individual can do with their best effort. Aptitude and achievement tests are included in this category. We can discriminate among aptitude and achievement tests on the basis of the use of their results. An aptitude test is designed to predict success in future learning activity, while an achievement test is designed to indicate the degree of success in some past learning activity. Some tests may be used for both purposes. The difference is mainly the matter of emphasis. For example, an algebra test designed to measure achievement at the end of the course may be used to predict success in future mathematics courses. In this type of procedures, the intent of assessment is to measure maximum performance. So, we can say that the notion maximum performance refers to the intent of performance rather than what may be concluded from the score of the student. स्टूडेंट्स अचीवमेंट को असेस करने की इंटेंट मैक्सिमम परफॉर्मेंस को मेजर करना होता है, और ये तब ही मुमकिन है जब स्टूडेंट असेसमेंट के दौरान अपनी भरपूर सलाहियत का मुजाहरा करें। अगर कोई स्टूडेंट इस बात पर मोटिवेटेड ना हो कि वो टेस्ट में भरपूर कारकर्दगी का मुजाहरा करे, तो फिर रिजल्ट्स यकीनन स्टूडेंट की मैक्सिमम परफॉर्मेंस को अंडर एस्टिमेट कर सकते हैं। In this classification, maximum performance versus typical performance, the second category of procedures are designed to reflect the person's typical behavior. Assessment procedures of this type are concerned with what individuals will do rather than they can do. Method designed to assess interest, attitudes, adjustment, and various personality traits are included in this category. Here, the emphasis is on obtaining representative responses rather than high scores. And for the purpose, interviews, questionnaires, ratings, anecdotal records, and observational techniques are used. As no single technique provides adequate appraisal, so combined result of number of them enable us to make fair judgment. Portfolios can be used as a measure of either typical or maximum performance. The next type of assessment procedures is fixed choice test and complex performance assessment. Fixed choice test includes MCQs and other selected response test items like true, false, or matching. These tests are considered efficient as students can respond a large number of test items in a brief time and can be scored by machine. The major advantages of this type of tests include that they are scored objectively, they have high reliability and cost effectiveness. The major disadvantage of fixed choice tests are that these tests cannot measure the organization and expression of ideas. On the other hand, complex performance assessment include written essays, open-ended mathematics problems, laboratory experiment in science, the creation of piece of art, oral presentation, and also the projects. The major disadvantage associated with this type is that these are time consuming and scoring requires expertise.